same old thing. We down there in LA, back and forth, recording, going to the studio, just working. And somehow, I don't know how people had called us. Pac called me and was like, come to the studio. Can you come to the studio? You know, I'm working. So when I get there, he's already recording. He's in the mix of working on the track of Hit 'Em Up. And so, and this was like the height. It's like we was at war for some reason. We all felt like it was a whole war against the East Coast, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, Pac in there riled up the energies like it was on 10, right? So me, Sheik, Rick Rock, I think Marvelous was there, and who else? The Outlaws was there, Left Eye was there, and then I ended up calling the Goody Mob. I ended up calling the Goody Mob. So the Goody Mob came through there because we knew Bernard Parks. We knew Bernard Parks from Tanya. Tanya?
Yeah, I remember Tanya.
Tanya introduced me to Bernard Parks at a convention in Miami back in the day. And so he managed the Goody Mob. And so I called Bernard and told him we was at the studio. And so he came there. And so Pac was just going in. I mean, he was going in just on the record so, you know, so crazy that it shorted out. The microphone like almost exploded.
Oh, wow.
It's like he was yelling and screaming. It was just so distorted because he was like really mad. You know what I mean? He was like, but he spit out his emotions on the mic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was so powerful that it like it staticked out. You know what I mean? It was like he was, you know, I mean, it just was like a whole nother, it was a different kind of experience, you know what I mean? And a lot of people like the Goody Mob didn't even want to talk about that they was even there because they friends with everybody, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But they was there, Left Eye was there, you know what I mean? And I was filming, you know, and I had it filmed, so I got it on actually video.
And they didn't want to use that in the movie?
They didn't want to use it because it stirred up too much, you know what I mean? And there's some parts that he said on the video that he didn't put on the song. Like he talked about Jay-Z, he talked about different people. He didn't put that on the album, you know what I mean? So they kind of cut certain pieces out of it.
Why would they cut them out?
Just because aesthetically, like I said, it did do some distortion when he was talking about a lot of different people. Then he was like, I'll kill you. You know, Pac was like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, he started going crazy, right? So like, oh no, we need to leave this off. You know, they didn't want to really create more drama than it was. You know what I mean?
So did anybody at any point tell him to stop?
Nah, because we always with it.
Okay.
It was just, we was at war. We was just like, you know what I mean? We was like, hey, get him. You know what I mean? It was that type of vibe. So nobody, looking back at it, it was kind of, you know, crazy, but it wasn't crazy because he really felt like they did something to him, which they did to a certain degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.